Alright, I'm gonna show you how to make my biscuits, my buttermilk biscuits. You'll need 2 bowls, a big one, a smaller one, 3 cups of self-rising flour, 2 cups of self-rising flour, a 9 by 13 pan with melted lard in the bottom. It's in there already, you just can't see it. Bulgarian style buttermilk. And once you got all this, oven 400 degrees. That's the first thing you do. Then you can start making your dough. So I've already made the dough, and this is what you want it to look like right here. So I'm going to turn you around and start making my biscuits, and I'll show you how I make them. All right, hopefully you can see me. I'm doing this the old way with turning my cell phone around. But you want to take a spoonful of biscuit dough, about like that. You want to drop it in the flour. Then you want to roll your flour up. Just like this. I do mine one biscuit at a time. And you don't want to overwork your dough. You want a biscuit just like that. You just want to drop them in. All right. When you do that, this pan makes 12. So 12 biscuits in this pan. Biscuit number 2. You just get your big spoonful, tablespoon, that's a tablespoon, and you work that dough, not too much. You want to shape that biscuit in the shape of a biscuit. Then you want to drop it in. Get another one. Now, mind you, I'm doing this with both my kids at the same time, so there's a lot of background noise. Just get your biscuits made into the shape you want them. Drop it down. It does 4 rows of 3, or 3 rows of 4, whichever way you turn your pan. Drop another one in, work it, that flour around, just like that. It don't take long. Once you get going, it don't take long. Another one. I use these latex gloves because this is a messy process. And you want these biscuits to bud up together. I'll show you after I make them all what it looks like when they bud up together. Because when they bud up together, it makes them rise. They don't go, you don't want them to spread out. You want them to spread up. And if you don't have enough dough, or you make too much, you can always make your biscuits a little bigger. Just dab a little bit of flour and buttermilk in there on top of what you already have. If you have a lot of extra. If you don't have enough dough, you just mix what do you think is appropriate enough to make. If you're 2 biscuits short, you want to make, what you think 2 biscuits would make. Sometimes that happens, but most of the time I have just the right amount of dough and not too much, because once you start making these enough times, you'll have the right amount every time. And I never really measure, but I decided to measure what I have for this video so people will know about what you need to make 12 biscuits. And it's going to be close. I'm going to be one biscuit short. Ain't that something? One biscuit short. So, since I'm going to be one biscuit short, what I'm going to do or I can leave that door shut. Since I'm one biscuit short, I'm going to take, well, pause that. I got to adjust. I'm going to take my flour. I'm going to put about what one biscuit would make. And I'm going to take buttermilk, probably a tablespoon worth of buttermilk. And I'm just going to mix it around. A little bit more. 2 tablespoons. Till I get what I want. I just need one biscuit. And look at there. There's one biscuit right there. Drop it in your flour. Need a little bit more. Look how messy this is. You're gonna make a mess. The oven's ready. There. Alright. Now I can take my gloves off and I can pick you up. Alright. 12 biscuits. Look at the mess. Alright, one more step before I'm done. And what you do for this last step is you want to get some lard and you want to melt it. Okay, I've got the lard melted. What you want to do is you just want to lightly pour that lard on top of your biscuits, just like so. Just a little bit on each one. Just like so. All right. Then you take your pan over here in the oven. I'm cooking vegetable deer soup to go with these biscuits. You want to plop it on the top rack, dead center. Turn your light on so you can see what you're doing and set a timer for 22 minutes. Right there. Now, when timer's up, we'll check in on them. I leave the light on so you can watch them when they start rising. So 22 minutes, I'll be right back. All right, quick peek. 3 minutes in, you can see these biscuits are rising. It's what you want. You want them to rise up. They're gonna be big biscuits. So one biscuit will be a good meal. And it's pretty simple to make. Like I said, 3 ingredients. You want self-rising flour. You want buttermilk. I use Bulgarian style. I think it's Highland. And then I use lard. You can use cooking oil, but I prefer lard. So 3 ingredients. Just 3 ingredient buttermilk biscuits. I'm gonna pause you and check back in a few minutes. All right, unpause. We're down to 12 and a half minutes left. They're looking good. So when this timer is up, what you want to see is a good hard sole or crust on the bottom. You want the bottom to be brown, not burnt, a good hard bottom and soft top. Now you don't have to do the last step, but I decided I wanted to do the last step when I made these, and that's to broil them to brown the top. Now the trick to broiling them is I put them on high, and I'll put them in just like they are, and once they start turning brown on top, I sit here and watch. It don't take but just maybe 30 seconds. Once they start turning brown, I will rotate them long ways so I can evenly brown the top of all of them. And then once they got a nice brown tint to them, they're done. So now we're 11 and a half minutes down. I want to talk about my soup here. This is vegetable deer. And if this biscuit video does well, I'll make a video on how to make my vegetable deer soup. Now this is deer meat, this ain't ground beef. This is for those people who love to deer hunt. If you want a meal that can feed a lot, this will feed a family of, I got 4 here in this house. We'll be eating on this for a few days. But this video is for the biscuits. So we're 11 minutes down. We got 11 minutes left. We'll pause you and we'll wait.